Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the third day of the 1 week online workshop on the topic Empowering Educators in the Age of Artificial Intelligence. Today, to discuss revolutionizing research practices with ICT, we have an eminent resource person, Dr. Ajithkumar C. Dr. Ajit is an accomplished assistant professor at the School of Education of Ignou, New Delhi, with extensive experience spanning over 18 years in teaching. He has been continuously engaged in academics, especially in training the faculty at national level on research, educational technology, and the similar areas. Dr. Ajit Kumar C is actively engaged with various academic organizations nationally and internationally, including NCERT, NIOIS, CBSE, UGC, and NTA. Currently, he serves as the coordinator of several programs at Ignou, including the Postgraduate Diploma in Educational Technology and the Postgraduate Certificate in Adult Education. He also supervises doctoral research scholars and coordinates courses for different programs at the School of Education, Ignou. Additionally, Dr. Ajithkumar plays a crucial role as the coordinator of Channel 16 of Swayam Prabha and as the course coordinator of the MOOC selection and integration of technology in educational processes offered through the Swayam platform by the Government of India. With this short note, I would like to invite Dr. Ajit Kumar as the resource person of the third session of the 1 week workshop organized by Kannur Salafi B.Ed College in collaboration with Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Kaja Bandanavas University, and Gandhi Shikshan Bhavan Srimati Surajba College of Education, Mumbai. And I would also welcome all the participants to this session. I hope the session will be enjoyable and learning one for we all. Thank you very much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So, good afternoon to all the participants and welcome to this wonderful session organized by Dr. Naseer Ji, the Kannur Salafi College in association with various couple of other institutions. So I hope you might had wonderful sessions on some of the AI tools. So my intention today is going to be helping you to again get into some of the ICT tools which we will be using, of course, in the research as the title goes. So a long session of 230 hours. So wherever it is required, I may be giving you time also so that you can also have a glance through some of these tools. Of course, there are various ICT tools. If you see ICT, it encompasses all those digital tools, basically digital tools. But then since as the seminar goes, like it is focusing on AI, maybe I will also sometimes sticking on to how you will use those AI tools in your research specifically. So this is the whole idea of my lecture today. So let me take some time to share my PowerPoint presentation also. So it is visible, Nasir sir.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay. Yeah. So to start with, just let us just take some to recapitulate the steps usually that we go through when we do the research. So as you see on the slide, we start with a problem identification. Yeah, you can sometimes say we identify the variable which we. सर मैं आपसे बात करूंगा. Yeah, like a variable that we like to undertake a research on, it cut across all the subjects in all the disciplines. So this is what we do. Then we move on to writing the title of the research. We will specify what we are going to undertake in the research. So we write the research objectives of the study. Sometimes people also write research questions, but the whole idea is you are going to undertake a study, so either it should have a research question or objective. People write sometimes both. It's up to you. You can follow the practice, but definitely any research should have some set questions or objectives which we will be answering through following the scientific steps. Now, if you look at sometimes the social sciences research, you will see the hypothesis formulation. Again, there are debates whether we have to play with the numbers or whether we have to play with the text, words. So sometimes, most of the times, we usually don't formulate a hypothesis if it is a text-based, word-based, non-number-based study. So that's why you are saying it is going to be an optional step, formulation of hypothesis. But if it is a quantitative study, mostly we come out with hypotheses. We will formulate the hypothesis. We will just a second. हाँ सर. हाँ जी सर. हम्म. हम्म. ठीक है सर, फिर मैं आपसे बात करूंगा. Before finalizing, yes, yes, yes. Before finalizing, we will contact you. Okay, sir. Okay, okay. No, no, I'll discuss it. Don't worry. Anyhow, I'll be only finalizing the minutes. I got the point. Okay, sir. I'll get back to you and we'll finalize that. Okay, sir. Okay. So that's why you are seeing hypothesis formulation is an optional step. So of course we will have hypothesis in the quantitative studies. We will make use of some statistical test and we will make a decision. So this is going to be the other. Now the next step is we will finalize the population. We will select a couple of people as samples. Then we will collect the data. So in social sciences, sometimes it's better to use the word tool. The other way it is instrument in sciences mostly. So we will also develop the tools in research for collecting the data. Then we will move forward and collect the data. Methodology, what kind of a study you are undertaking, how you are proceeding. This is methodology. The data analysis stage is going to be the next. So it happens, of course, in quantitative as well as qualitative studies. Then finally, we will make the conclusion for our research study. Now, let me ask you, I think many of you, maybe faculties also, research students will also be there. So let me, ask you where, in which of these stages we usually use the ICT tools. Could you please put it in the chat box? So you are seeing the very broad steps that we undertake, that we do in a research. So let me like to know you in the chat box. The slide is visible here. Can you please tell where, in which all steps we can use the ICT tools? Can you please put it in the chat box? In which all uh, places, which all steps? Maybe you can take these broad steps also, like identification of the problem, yeah, formulation of hypothesis, data collection, data analysis, research, reporting, and conclusion. In which all stages, which all steps we can use the digital tools, yeah, ICT tools, yeah, technology tools, anyway you can call. Any other idea rather than the last step, data analysis, data collection, research, reporting? In all of these tools, wonderful. Yeah, in all steps, of course, questionnaire, any creative, innovative idea. Yeah, otherwise, thank you for the response. Now the responses which comes on the lower side of the chat box is going to be absolutely okay for me. Rest, otherwise, see, it's not only limited to the data analysis and research reporting, but across the entire stages, we can make use of ICT. There is absolutely, in almost all these stages, we can make use of the ICT tools, research, digital technology tools, digital tools. Now, what happened? We started using the ICT or digital tools some maybe years back, some 20 years back. But then the technology progressed. All the technology tools now started incorporating the AI element into that. So of course, ICT is now, it is the AI already encompasses in the all the digital tools, many of the digital tools. Now, constant researches have been happening on ICT tools in a bigger way. AI tools are going to be into the what we say, all the ICT tools, many of the ICT tools, the AI future will definitely creep in. So it is going to be now AI era. And in many of the lectures, people used to ask why, whether there is any issue. Absolutely, there is no issue. Now, yesterday, the last 2 days, I was in IIT Madras in connection with the one of the, it is regarding the Swayam Prabha channel. So we were listening to one of the professors from mechanical engineering from IIT Madras. So he was also saying, we also have to align with the technological development. Well, there is no harm in that. Okay, we now the teachers, even sometimes we can say, may not be some that way very much mandatory. Of course, we will debate on that. But then see, what the whole point which I would like to make is, we will make use of the good side of any technologies, and we will make our teaching learning processes, research processes more effective. That is the whole idea. So of course, there is no harm, there is nothing wrong in using these tools. Whenever you are stuck, whenever you require an help, of course you can take the help of ICT tools. So that is one side, there is absolutely nothing wrong. But you again think of the right and wrong, which we always do in our daily life. We never choose to go in a wrong path. Of course, that we have to be really don't advocate. It's not a good practice to choose the wrong path in our, even in our daily life also. So the same applies to the research work also. Why I am saying this? Because see, if you want to get a research paper written by any technology tool, absolutely this is possible now. Okay, so you don't have to struggle writing from 1 to 15 pages. Absolutely, it is not required, because we have the AI tools. So, but then we also again would come into a dilemma whether we are doing right or not. Of course, that is a wrong practice. So don't end up into any wrong practices while using the AI tools. And I mean, like, there is absolutely no limit the technological inventions coming, the advancements happening in technology. So let us take all the good side of any technology tool and let us make our any research work very more effective that way. So I'm just moving ahead. So this is one slide which I would conclude like absolutely it is not limited to the data analysis. At any stage, you can take the help of technology tool, and technology tool can be used in identifying the problem. I'll give demonstration of all these. In formulation of hypothesis, of course, you can use ICT, AI based tools, ICT tools, and there is no limit in data collection, sampling. In all these places you can use. Of course, data analysis can be also done using ICT tool. Finally, when we are preparing the research report, of course there also the ICT would come in. So absolutely there is no limit. At all these places there can have little bit of variations from these steps which you are seeing on the slide. Okay, but then this is the broad. Now I'll just also take you to some of the very theoretical ideas which are related to artificial intelligence. Won't be spending much time on this, but then I felt like this is also required. So let us see. I mean, like if I ask you what is artificial intelligence, you might have had. So I'm just not I mean like asking then. देखिए आजकल काफी documents are coming on the artificial intelligence, how it can be used in the teaching learning process. So the whole idea of artificial intelligence is like, we will just what we say replicate or mimic the activities that a human individual is doing. Like to be, if you are putting it in very simple terms, I just wanted to, as I was saying, I just wanted to calculate manually something like, say for example, any statistical test like a t-test. So we have a formula for that t-test. So what we were doing, we were collecting data, then we were fitting into these data into the formula, we were arriving at the what we say the result or the conclusion. Now this entire process, now many of the research students, very rarely they do manual calculations. That was stopped earlier, since long days. We never end up into doing the statistical test using any manually collecting the data and fitting it into the formula. Very rarely we do that. So we have tools for that. So in place of doing this manual activity is replaced by some technology tools. The very simple example which I was saying, like writing a research paper. So we were thinking, we were reviewing, we were bringing into ideas, putting into very systematic logical order. This is how we were doing the. So now that has been replaced by the AI tools. So you don't have to say, for example, if you are writing a paper on virtual reality in education, so we need some introduction. So we will depend on AI tools to write the introduction one paragraph. So we were doing that manually. Now it is replaced by the AI tools. So it is just like taking the human intelligence to technology. The human thinking, whatever activities that we do is taken over by the technology. A simple kind of explanation for artificial intelligence. A little bit of complicated side. So it encompasses various ideas like machining, learning, natural processing, many things. Okay, so we don't want too much of that technical terms into our mind. So you will see this screen shot is from one of the very recent documents. Okay, how they are defining artificial intelligence, or what all things are there in the artificial intelligence. So that's how they put it in an umbrella term kind of thing. because in artificial intelligence, various technologies come in, like machine learning is something different, natural processing is something different. So in artificial intelligence, all these comes into, robotics. Now, there is something called, we also now, let me see this also. Oh, see, am I audible now? Can somebody respond?
Sir, you are audible, but voice is little bit mild.
How about now? Is it the same
Now
with voice?
it seems fine.
Okay, better. I'll just hold on my microphone little near to. Voice is again low. Okay. Let me see, but my volume is also, the computer volume, I kept it at 100. Is there any difference or it is still the same?
Not much. Sir, can you just try removing the microphone?
This way?
Yeah, now
that okay?
Now it seems better.
Is that fine?
Yes, yes.
Hello?
Others also, please respond. How do you feel it? Yes.
Is that okay now?
Now it's fine, sir. This is
It's
good.
fine,
This is
sir.
What about now? It's better or it has gone down again?
Okay, sir, now.
It's okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just hold on like this, then it will be more. So, yeah. Now see, there is started with artificial intelligence, but then a step ahead, something called generative. Even otherwise, the artificial intelligence is generative only, but then this time is also more in use now. Generative AI. You will not see much difference, but this is going to be more, popular term these days. Generative AI. Now, see, if you see kind of a definition for this, you will see like, is an artificial intelligence again technology that automatically generate the content in response to the prompts written in natural language conversational interfaces. Very recent document of UNESCO has given this kind of. So again, the all to put it in very simple, like generate. It generate many things. So if you want to generate a video program, if you want to generate a video program, you can do that. If you want to generate an image, they can do that. So it generates anything. See, we were generating images by manually drawing. We were generating video program, taking taking too much of manual effort. Like you can think of video shooting a film, a serial, a small educational video program. Everything was taking too much of human effort. We need to have that studio, we need to have editing people. Now the entire process is it can be done by a artificial intelligence tool. So that's how the generative artificials are coming into more popular. Generative, as I was saying, couple of ideas like large language model. Again, I won't be, we also don't require too much. Okay, the very technical side of artificial intelligence, they work based on large language models, machine learning. This is purely the computer science people's discipline. So they make use of all these technologies, and that's how we get all these generations. Now If you had a session on this, can you just answer to this in the chat box? Large language models. Can you please put it in the chat box if you know any? Of course, sometimes you can also, just silently use the artificial intelligence and search for that. Some large language models which you know. Do you have any idea about any large language model? This is one of the technologies used in the artificial intelligence tools. Any idea? I'm looking at the chat box. Any large language model if you are aware about? Yeah, I'm not getting any response, so I'll just move on to this slide. See, these are some of the large language models which you might have already. Grammarly, they are the technologies, This is one of the large language models, GPT, GP3, GPT 0.5, 3.5, GPT-2. So many companies, they develop their own large language models. If I am not wrong, this is the language technology model, large language model, the chat GPT use, and that's how their name also comes into. So that company only developed this GPT kind of model, GPT 3.5. Now you might have used the chat GPT, the free version. The free version of chat GPT makes use of this large language model technology. They make use of other technologies also. Okay, the paid version, chat GPT also has a paid version. Chat GPT also has a paid version. They make use of little advanced model, large language model, that is GPT-4. They somewhere started GPT-2. Google uses any of one of these. I just can't recollect which is that. Google's Gemini, they make use of. So this is the technology. Okay, this is the technology. So as I said, see, they can do anything. They can do anything. These AI tools can do anything. There is absolutely no limit. So it can hold conversation, it can generate text, video, audio, image, anything they can do. They can answer your queries. So we will specifically seeing how this can be used, how we can use this in our research work. This is our concern of this session. Okay. GPT means a generative pre-trained transformer, a technology. So it generates whatever you want. It generates whatever you want. So in chat GPT, there are limitations, generative. This is generative. So in chat GPT, they will not be developing image, video. Sometimes maybe at a later point that will come. In chat GPT-4, I am not sure whether they have this feature, the paid version. I am talking about the chat GPT 3.5 version chat, which is the free tool which we are using, chat GPT free. Okay. Now this has gone something like viral as we use today. It started somewhere around the last quarter of 2023. Now there is a big number of people who are using the chat GPT. Okay. Maybe you can see some kind of their, what we say, the growth of their users. Somewhere launched in 2018, 2023, they came out with the GPT-4. In between, GPT 3.5 was also there. Okay, so let us not get into too much into it. Now this is developed by the OpenAI, a US-based company. OpenAI, this is the company name. They have come out with this AI tool named as ChatGPT. They have paid version. They have a free version also, free version. The free version uses 3.5 GPT language model. The paid version uses ChatGPT 4 version. This can do various activities, advanced. This here it is limited. The functions are limited since it is a free version, and is developed by Open AI company. Now, if you go to the Open AI company, you will see their mission like to ensure AI systems that are generally smarter than humans benefits all of humanity. So just for bringing in a very effective kind of solution to any issue that we face in our daily life, academic life, the AI tools are there to support us. Again, you should also keep in mind the right and wrong, which I was saying in the very beginning. We should not end up in doing any wrong practices. Okay. So chat GPT, one idea which you will see now, this has come out like something into prompt engineering, also prompt engineering, something which requires some kind of a very talented kind of understanding, engineering, very professional field, engineering. तो देखिए क्या होता है ना, जो चैट जीपीटी वी नीड टू पुट इन क्वेश्चंस, वी नीड टू फीड इन द क्वेश्चंस, हम देना होगा, वी हैव टू कीप ऑन गिविंग क्वेश्चंस. So the questions that we give in any AI tool is technically known to be prompt. So it is nothing but the question that we ask to the chat GPT, that is called prompt. Prompt. Now see, this has come out like prompt engineering now, because it's again just like any other tool. We have the technology tool to support us. Now you keep on asking questions, the chat GPT or any AI tool will give us responses, but many a times we may not be very happy with the responses. Okay, so if you want to get the kind of response which we look for, then we have to think about the prompt engineering also. Nothing but it purely depends on how you feed the question to chat gpt, how you feed. If it is very proper way of giving questions to any AI tool, they will give you the response which you were thinking of. Otherwise it is just like Google. You go to Google, ask a question, millions of website responses they will give. We have to keep on clicking on each of the website to get the answer for us. It is something very similar to that. Okay, you give any question to any AI tool, they will give you responses, but may not be the response which we were looking for. So it is very what we say, very technical style of asking questions to the chat gpt. We will also experience that how it is done maybe with chat gpt or some other tools. So kitna precisely you are giving the response to chat gpt, yeah, any AI tool, that matters. Otherwise it may be similar, something like the Google. We will keep on asking questions, they will keep on giving responses. So how, if you want to minimize the time frame to get the responses, you have to think of prompt engineering also. You have to very intelligently post the questions to any AI tool. If you are not very intelligent that way, you will be again doing something very similar to any search engines like Google or Microsoft. Okay, now see, देखिए कुछ examples, but just for this is from that document, how you will give. Let me also sometimes look this. Yeah, plugins. We will see some of these questions which you are asking. Sometimes I will be answering during my lecture. Okay, use symbol. Okay, but this is from that document. We will see, we will experience how this can be done. Okay, but this is some of the tips. Of course there are other documents coming out, how you can give prompt, how you can ask a question to any AI tool. So make it very simple. There are a couple of other ideas like a clear, straightforward language that can be easily understood, avoid complex or ambiguous wording. So you have to think of, make it very simple. If you want to give examples, so that the responses that you will get also be in a very refined form. Sometimes give a context also. Say for example, I am research I am doing a research on the learning disability students. So you can put it that I am working on a research related to learning disability students. I need these kind of responses. So that way you also bring in the context to your prompt. Okay. Refine, be ethical, avoiding prompts that may generate inappropriate, biased, or harmful content. Okay. So ethics is something which is very, we need to be very conscious about ethics. Again, something which is related to the right and wrong, which I was saying very throughout that will carry, because people are utilizing the AI tools in a big way. So let us not get into such kind of practices. Now, some of these tools like the open AI products, I was sticking on to this because this is one of the leading tool which is very popular, a open AI product, that is the GPT-4, chat GPT, chat GPT 3.5. They have come out with one image development tool. Okay, you can create images, that is a DALI. Okay, this was free, so those who have open AI accounts, little old open AI account, they can use DALI. This was free in the beginning. Now it is, if I am not wrong, it is not free, but we have various other tools also, Whisper another, okay, which is not that way. Now, as I said, Deki, what is the prompt that we give in chat GPT? The questions given to chat GPT. So this is the whole idea which I was talking, giving prompt engineering. We will see with these examples how this can be done using that. Okay. So the basic idea is just like the questions that we pose, that we ask to any AI tool is known to be technical. Oh, it's not that way very important, but then this is the technical term that we do. Now, this is something very technical in the computer science field. देखिए हमको तो उतना useful नहीं है, but then देखिए there are many there are many coding like languages in computer science, and that's how the software engineers get too much of a payment and all. They are specialized in developing codes. If it is for a software for a bank, they design the entire code. So we are not very much concerned, but this is also possible with any AI tool. Then there is absolutely no limit. I have written something like it can create essays, it can create emails, you can answer your questions, you can develop, say for example, you are going for a rented house. If you want to develop a rent agreement, if you are selling the vehicle, let me see this. Is that not? Is that clear now? Again, there is some. Can somebody respond to that, please? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Voice is breaking. Maybe because of. Okay. Yeah, some people saying it is, maybe you can also check your microphone, yeah, loudspeaker at your end. Letter composing, poem composing, something which the poets were doing, poem composing. Now, we don't have to be a poet or a novelist to develop, create a poem. You are write a poem, write a novel. So this is the stage that we have reached, and we all should understand that this is how the technology is progressing. So absolutely there is no issue. Again, I would say we can use this, but in a very wise, use your wisdom, use it in a very ethical way. So this list is not that way, not an end. Okay, it keeps on, you can keep on adding anything. Okay, you can keep on adding anything. There is no limit to that. Just again, okay, some of the ideas like is if you want to write an article, write essay on a topic, I want to write an article for a journal, suggest this. I'll just demonstrate all this. Okay, can you make it simple? The prompt that we give, these are some of the sample prompt. Again, this is not an end. You can absolutely go on experimenting that. There is no limit. Write essay on a topic. See, write essay on a topic. This is something which I have put it in a very simple words. Okay, but the context, maybe the examples may be missing here. So in that way, we will get a very long response which may not be suiting our purposes. So that's what I was saying, prompt engineering. So if you are not, I mean, like if you are not getting the desired response, you have to keep on asking questions. Can you make it simple? You know, please also include points like, so if you can give all this in a single go, which is very simple, which is very, if you can give the context, if you can refine that, if you can give examples, all this will help you to get the responses at a faster rate rather than keeping on experimenting on the responses. So just think of that. You have to make it very now. See, chat gpt was what we say the popular tool. It came to the market, the chat gpt, but then technology, there is no limit. Again, I would say, then yesterday, since we were in IIT Madras, we were seeing the research park. What they do in the research park is they invite any people to their research park, very big building where many startups are being initiated. So if you have any idea, you can just contact them. They have a screening committee and all. They will give you space, some 18 to 36 month they will give you, so you can come out with any new product. So this happens across the globe. There is no limit. So there are many people working on different AI tools. Now, Chat GPT was popular, but then into the global world, technological world, many AI tools are now being introduced. So on this slide, which you are seeing, these are some of the Chat GPT similar like tools. Okay, Chat GPT similar like tools like this. You may be very much aware about. Maybe somebody might have quoted. Now this is they have changed the name also. Now it is Google Gemini. Earlier it was Google Bard. Very recently, the previous week, somewhere they have changed the name to Gemini. So this slide, don't worry, you don't have to note it down all this. But of course, you can just experiment on some of these tools. Okay, Chat, Sonic, Ernie, Hugging Chat, Jasper, Llama, Open Assistant, Chat GPT is a wonderful tool. If possible, we'll also see the demo of this Chat GPT. The illicit AI researcher. So there is absolutely, friends, again, I would say, repeat that there is no limit. Every day, one or the other tool is coming to the technology world. Okay. Perplexity, there are many. Now, then see, again, people now were thinking of, can we again then generate the images also? Of course, as I was saying, manually we were doing drawing. All the artists were paid in a big way. If it is a good image, a good what we say, a picture or drawing, then it was costing too much. But then again, technology tools came into, so there are now many AI tools, I would say generative AI tools. They are developing images for us. So in the slide, maybe you can see a couple of them. Again, this list is also not a complete list. We can keep on experimenting on this. We can keep on searching for the image generation AI tools, image generative AI tools. So how we will use, say, for example, suppose in Ignou, we develop the self-learning materials. What we were doing is like, in the first page, it is going to be the cover page of the self-learning material. So we always put some graphics in the cover page. So we were depending on the drawing, artists to get the pictures drawn, images drawn. Okay. Now there is no issue if you have image and AI generation tools. We don't have to necessarily depending on the artist or drawing people. We can make use of any of these tools. Okay. Again, video generation, I was already hinting that, see, it takes huge amount of time for generating a very, what we say, very professional kind of video program. Let me again see. Yeah, Bing for message. Yeah, there are many. Absolutely, you can keep on adding to this list also. Okay, couple of them I have already, I mean, like experimented. Okay, so there is no limit. You can also bring in your creativity. You have to think of where you have to use the video generation AI tools. Couple of them, many of them are paid. Some of them are free also, free and paid. It of course comes in the technology world. Some softwares will be always free. Some are, but there will be limited facilities in the free version. If you want to get the advanced version, then you have to think of what we say, paying to the people. Okay, again something which give a stroke to what we say, the music generators, music generative AIs. Okay, Aiva, Bhumi, Soundro. You can also think of experimenting, googling, yeah, searching on these kind of devices. So there is more will come into the. Now one of the latest developments in this area is the emerging AI field, that is what we call the educational generative pre-trained transformer. This is purely for what we say, the educational purposes. You see, Chat GPT, this is used by millions of people. Chat GPT, it cut across all the field. Those who are from space, those who are from engineering side, those who are from mechanical side, management side, educational field, teaching learning processes, people are using. There is no limit. It is for the a global audience. Okay, it cut across all the fields. So if I am working in any office, may not be an educational related office, I can use ChatGPT. Now people are thinking of bringing in GPT, generative pre-trained transformers, AI tools into the educational field. So this is from the very recent document of UNESCO. They are talking about educational GPT. So this is going to be coming more into what we say, the educational field. Okay, so educational GPTs, educational generative pre-trained transporters are coming. One was developed by something called Edge Chat 2. You can just Google and see how it is working. East China Normal University has developed this Edge Chat. There is one more, if I am not wrong, Max GPT. So it will be purely, responding, will be working on the Max related things. Now, maybe in future things will also come, like in research, as I was saying, research, there are different steps in research. So I will show you definitely how we can bring in some AI tools to do the entire steps. Okay, but in later, at a later point, we will also see some tools which are specifically made for the research purposes. Somebody to mute the microphone. uh, oh.
Yes,
So of
done, sir.
course, in future that will come. See, things keep on developing. So technology has no limit that way. So this is something which you should take into mind. Educational GPT coming into, maybe research-based GPTs will come in future. Research-based, properly for research purposes. So let us, we have to wait for that. Okay. This I'll just skip. The same document you will see. See, Chat GPT, teaching and learning. Since we are not focusing on teaching and learning, I am not going to give a research. We will, of course, in administration, community engagement, everywhere we can use Chat GPT or any AI tool. Okay. This is okay. This also we do. Okay. Some of the ideas like Chat GPT, I'll show, go beyond this also, but this is a very authentic source. See, image created by UNESCO itself, you can see some of the ideas like writing up research. We will see. I'll make it more simple how this can be done. Okay. Writing up, then data analysis, research design, data collection. Okay. We'll go little beyond these ideas, how ChatGPT AI tool is. Now, I'll just come to, maybe I'll also show you some kind of ICT tools. A couple of them you are also aware about, like, so I'll be just touching upon the ICT also. Sometimes I'll also go a little bit into the chat GPT also. This is what I'm thinking to give a demo. Okay. Chat GPT and ICT. ICT includes all those digital tools. Of course, chat GPT is also a digital tool that way. Okay, so one of the slide which I was showing in the beginning is the research steps. So the first idea, the first step that we undertake in any research is something called um, the identification of the problem. Identification of the problem. Identification. Okay, so we will see how this can be done. Some of the tools like no, so don't worry about pointing out noting down all these terms. Okay, I'll share definitely this PowerPoint. You will get this PowerPoint. So some of these you can see. These are mostly AI based tools. AI based tools. Okay. Apart from that, as I was saying, couple of tools which you can find for finding the research topic. Research topic. One maybe the Google Scholar is one, maybe ICT tool, you can say Google Scholar. So I would recommend, I would suggest those who don't have any Google, Google, what we say, Google Scholar in your account. Google Scholar. If you don't have a Google Scholar, this is a tool of what we say the Google company. That I would say Google is a very good company because they are giving many tools free of cost. So this is, since I have logged in my Gmail account, it is taking directly to my Google account, Google Scholar account. Okay. So you can see my profile, my library and all. Okay. Articles. ठीक है. So आप देखिए, if you don't have a Google Scholar account, what we were doing, we were manually going to the libraries. This is the scene since maybe since the last, maybe you can say some 10 to 15 years back. We were going to the library, we were searching out for what we say the theses which were placed in the libraries. We were going through reading, and this is the process that we were getting into for identifying the variables, identifying the research topic. So one idea which you can take, one of the uh, what we say tool, ICT resource or repository which you can use for finding the research article is Google Scholar. And if it is Google Scholar, the easy part is like you can also bring in your, what we say, your research papers, your publications into Google. One advantage part is that, see, nowadays people are identified. They will also sometimes ask, what is your H index, what is your I index and all, I10 index. Okay. This also, what we say, gives credibility. This also proves you are a very scientific researcher. You will be known by looking at your H index score, I10 index score and all. This is my profile, but I'm not too much into putting in. I have put some of my publications, but the soft copy is not available. For some of the publications, I have not put the soft copy into that. We have to definitely put the soft copy into the Google Scholar account. This is how it is going to be visible to other researchers. This is how it is going to be. So when they refer your paper, then only they will cite in their paper. So when they cite, then your H index score, I index score keep on growing up. If that is not done, there is no meaning in creating a Google Scholar account. Okay, so of course this is one which you can maybe think of. Google Scholar, both there are two advantages. One, you will be known to the outside world as a researcher. This is one idea. Second idea is you can also what we say search for the articles. Okay, search for articles. Say for example, I am working on virtual reality. Virtual reality. So virtual reality, see how the citations we used to cite people. Virtual reality, we will get the details of the scholars which are there in the Google Scholar. Okay, so you can see there is no limit. There are a good number of researchers who have Google Scholar account. So maybe say for example, Stephen M. Lavelle is cited by 40,000 people. So maybe it's going to be a very wonderful research work. We will get the idea what he has done. Then we can take our research forward. So we will click on this. We will see his publications. We can see his publications on virtual reality. He's working on some other areas also. So we'll get, okay. We'll see something like 3D printing. Yeah, audio visual aids. This is not properly typed. Audio aids, say for example. Nothing. Okay, learning disability. Learning intellectual disability. So again, you can see the citations, citations of the people. And now many of these tools like Google Scholar, they already have some kind of AI feature integrated into that, which we won't be going too much into that. This is done by the company itself. Okay, so there sometimes. So this two ideas which I was giving is one, to increase your visibility as a researcher to the outside world. Then if you want to get very serious researchers do that, they bring in all those, expand their ideas to the outer academic world for a general kind of a purpose. This is one which you can depend. Second, maybe you might have, there are many, okay, some of the very leading academic. Edu is another, academia.edu. Share your research. Okay, share your research. So इसका भी काफी नंबर है ना, 47 million PDFs for free. So this is also a tool which you can just think of, academia.edu. This is another maybe repository which you can think of. Again, here also the same features applies. You will create your account, you will upload all your research work, the soft copies or the website where it is published, so people can access that. You can also use this for getting ideas for your research work, the new research work which you are going to undertake. Now, those who are from education field might have already gone through this. The Eric, a very wonderful resource, education resources information center. This is also, sometimes you will also get the complete thesis. So for example, I have something like gamification here, so I'll just search this gamification. Okay, gamification, so very wonderful. See, we just started 2024. Okay, so the publications related to gamification, it is available. You can also send your research to Eric. That can also be done. See, now they also have something kind artificial kind of intelligence tools in a way. We can say gamification, foreign countries, college students, electronic learning, learner engagement. So the documents which are available in this, it is here, okay, documents. Now the source, you can see the journals, you can see the authors, publication type, education level, researchers, location. There is no limit to this also. Sometimes, as I said, you will also get the complete thesis also. So you can just have a kind of a comparison how the research work is done outside, how it is done in our country. All those can be done. Eric, this is one. Now, I will also show you something like the chat GPT. In a chat GPT, so I'll just get into the chat GPT. I think you might have had a lecture on chat GPT. So I'll just chat GPT. So those who are not very new, maybe you can take this also. Okay. For them, maybe they can think of in a chat GPT. You just Google for chat GPT. The chat GPT will list out. So I'll just click on chat GPT. Now in chat GPT, you have to create an account. You have to create an account. Let me see. Yeah. Eric is for review of related literature. Of course, yeah, sometimes you can also see that kind of a mixing also. This is not properly, yeah, purely for what we say identifying the research. For reviewing also we can use that. So it is a little bit connected kind of thing. How we will identify the research topic, it is basically through the reviewing. There are personal experiences also. So I use this in a big way. Chat GPT, very ethically I use this. So when you come to the chat GPT, this is the interface which you are going to see. This is the interface which you will get. This is the interface. So those who don't have an account, just go to chat GPT the way I was saying. Like, you just Google for chat GPT. I just typed chat GPT, then I just click the enter button. So this will come. You have to click on login. Yeah, get started. You have to create your account. Otherwise, in most of the tools nowadays, we can log in through our Google account. So if you have a Google account, it will be listed there. Google, if you whether you want to log in through Google or something else. So you click on Google, then this is the this is creating this. I can let me see. Hide this somewhere, it is there. Let it go. Okay, so this is the interface which we will be ending up chat GPT. Okay, so in chat GPT, see, आपको देखने के मिलेगा जैसे new chat. This is the place for giving a new chat. You will start the new chat. Okay, now those who are very new, they have given couple of examples here. Create a chart, recommend a dish. Suppose you are a cook. If you want to come up with a new dish, how it can be done, you can just click on this. Okay, see, this is example. Can you recommend me some appetizer options to bring a potluck? So they are giving the responses. Okay, so this we have taken from that the major interface. Okay, so this is some kind of an examples. Write a text message. If you click on this, आपको example मिलेगा. Write a text asking a friend to be +1 at wedding next month. I want to keep it super short, casual, and offer an out. So they will give you the response. So this is to help the new users how ChatGPT is working. Yeah, this is to help you how the ChatGPT is working. So they have given 4 or 5 examples in their homepage interface. So these are examples. Now, if you come down, this is creating issue. Just a second. If you come down, you can see this is the place where we give questions. So the questions we were saying prompt, prompt. So this is the place to give prompt to the chat GPT, the questions basically. Otherwise, you can also click on this. Okay, new chat GPT. Click on this new chat. You can see a pen icon in a box here. You will click on this. Okay, so that will also end up here only. Okay, don't worry. So I'm just I was talking about. Let me come back to this. I I was talking about this one. Okay, see, these are the steps. So we are looking for the first one, identification of the research problem. identification of the research problem, identification of the variable, say for example. So this is usually done through the reviewing. So maybe you can take it that way also. So we are bringing that to two ideas. How we will find a problem to our research work. Couple of repositories, that is also not a end. Okay, there are various other repositories. So we will use the chat GPT. So say for example, now how we will give the prompt. I want to select a new topic for my research. Okay, I want to select a new topic for my research. So sometimes people bring in their personal experiences. Okay, otherwise those who are not very much aware about, they can just make use of to get some ideas for your research work. So let us see how it is done. Say for example, I'm planning to I'm planning to conduct a research work on any new topics. Okay, I want to conduct a research work. No, I want to conduct a maybe doctoral research work. Doctoral research work. Okay. Maybe again you keep on making it not very complicated. Let us see, this is just an experimentation. Okay, so this is the prompt, this is the question that we are giving to the chat GPT. Okay, I am planning to conduct a doctoral research work on any new topics. Suggest 10 such topics. Okay, suggest 10 such topics. This is this I'll just close. That is again AI integrated tool, the Grammarly. Okay, when I was typing, it was pointing out the mistake. So I am a very a new beginner. I am completely unaware about any topic which I want to research. So I am just seeking the help of ChatGPT, and this is the question which I am giving. This is the prompt which I am giving to the ChatGPT. I am planning to conduct a doctoral research work on any new topics. Suggest 10 such topics. Okay, and this is a completely vague question, even which you may be thinking of. है ना, देखिए. Okay, so that question you can also see appearing here. This is the chat which I was asking, है ना. I am planning to conduct a doctoral research work on any new topics. Suggest 10 such topics. Okay, not a complete question, I would say, because it's not very clear. And new topics, it can be any new topic. It can be any new topic. So they are suggesting, see, certainly here are 10 potential doctoral research topics across various disciplines. See, this is one point which I wanted to convey you. I mean, like, they have listed the topics from various disciplines: artificial intelligence and ethics, climate change and policy, neuroscience and decision making. They have given a little bit of idea, like exploring the neural mechanisms underlying decision making process and their implications for psychology, economics, and public policy. Now, so you can just keep on going down: blockchain technology, cultural heritage preservation, healthcare innovation, urban mobility and transportation, cyber security, education technology, political radicalization, and social media. Examining the role of social media platforms in political radicalization, polarization, and the spread of misinformation, and proposing strategies for mitigating these effects. A little bit idea they have given. Okay. Now we will see, this is the chat GPT response. We will just go to the Google Bard also. Let us see how it is done. After changing the Google Bard, I have not used that. So I'll just Google Bard. Okay. To reach Google Bard, you just Google Bard. So I'll just close this. I'll take a new window. I'll search for Google Bard the same way we did it for Google Bard. I'll click on देखिए Google Gemini, but is now Gemini, so the name they have changed. It is the previous week, if I am not wrong. Okay, here also again the same process you have to do. You will see maybe sometimes a very similar kind of interface here also, but this is I have not experimented Google Gemini now. uh, Yesterday they were saying like you can also generate images in Google Gemini, which is not the case in chat gpt image generation nahi hai. They use DALI 2 for that image generation. But Google Gemini, yesterday from IIT Madras, some professors were saying like this is multi-modal now. You can do many things, not rather than generating text. That I have to experiment that. So what I'll do, I'm just going to take the chat GPT prompt that we have given. I am planning to conduct a research work on any new topics suggested. Okay, so I'll just use my mouse. Copy this I'll copy this I'll copy this, then I'll go to Google Gemini, the same, almost enter a prompt here. I'll just use the Control V button in my keyboard. Okay, I just pasted this here. Okay, now I'll just put it here. Now just enter. So I'm planning to conduct a research. Now see the responses types which we are getting. Now I am planning to conduct a doctoral research work on any new topics. Suggest us 10 such topics. तो क्या हुआ ना इन जेमिनी में, unfortunately I can't suggest specific research topics without knowing more about your interest and area of expertise. However, I can offer some general suggestions and resources to help you brainstorm and narrow down your focus. So this is what I was saying about the prompt engineering, है ना. तो देखिए they have given, consider your passion and expertise. What are you most curious about? What are already knowledgeable about within your field? What problems or questions have you encountered in your own work or studies? आपका जो पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस में आपको क्या क्या एक्सपीरियंस हुआ था या स्टडीज में. Look for emerging trends and challenges. What are the biggest issues facing your field currently? Explore resources like, so they have given the response in a different way, but then they have, here are the 10 broad research topics across various fields to spark your imagination. The ethical implications of artificial intelligence, which we have seen in chat gpt also, they have given AI and ethics. This is the first topic they have listed. In Gemini, again, ethical implications of artificial intelligence. How can we ensure AI is used responsibly and equitably? Personalization, climate change and adaptation, the future of work, cyber security and private, impact of social media and mental health, rise of misinformation and disinformation, potential biogrim, exploration of space, the intersection of technology. And okay, see, remember, these are just starting points. The best research topics are those that are meaningful to you, feasible to investigate, and have the potential to make a significant contribution to your field. I encourage you to explore these suggestions, do your own research, and consult with mentors and advisors to identify the perfect research topic for your research work. This is what we were saying, the mimicking of human intelligence. Even though the artificial intelligence has given some topics, but they again advertise it is better you to consult your mentor, then identify the research topic. They also encourage you to explore these suggestions. Okay, so we cannot, and that's why in chat gpt also, this is the chat gpt interface. Okay, this is the chat gpt interface. You will get something like, I'll just go back, है ना. सबसे नीचे लिखा है चैट जीपीटी कैन मेक मिस्टेक्स, कंसिडर चेकिंग इंपॉर्टेंट इंफॉर्मेशन. जो सबसे नीचे है, यू कैन सी chat gpt can make mistake, consider checking. So this issue is with all the AI intelligence tools. Okay, even though they are replicating, mimicking, they are reproducing the human intelligence, but it is always good to recheck the responses of artificial intelligence. So we cannot completely depend on this tool, but of course we can get some ideas. Okay, now I'll just, this is the topic which I was taking, the prompt which I have given. Okay, so that will be listed here as a history. So you can see the historical chats of mine. I have done many searches in the chat GPT. Okay, all those is listed here. So I'll just come back to that. If you want to come back to that, you can just click on this new doctoral research. Okay, so we were here. Now you can copy this, take to any field, you can refresh, regenerate. If you click on this regenerate, I just click on regenerate. Okay, I just asked the same question, we don't have to type it again. Now you can edit this one. Okay, otherwise you will get the second response. So you can see 2 by 2. If you click on this, it will go to the first response 1 by 2. You click this arrow mark, it will take you to the second response. So let us see the second response. Ethical implications of artificial intelligence, sustainable urban development, smart cities, blockchain technology, climate change. So they have given some it seems like replicated. Okay, was this response better or worse? See, these kind of responses, these kind of human interactions, you will not get in Google. And that's how this is different from the Google normal search engine. You will not this kind of, but nowadays a little bit of that kind of responses are also coming into Google. Okay, earlier this was not the case. We were not having. So what is this response or better? So let us see, this is worse or better. Okay, same. So I'll maybe say I'll worse. I'll click on worse. Now, if you want another response, you have to click on again regenerate. So the third response will come. Okay, so they are coming out with some other new topics. So they will keep on giving. Okay. Now this you can edit here. Otherwise, I'll just copy this. I'll just copy this. I was saying, like, see, I'll paste it here. Okay. I am planning to conduct a doctoral research work on any topics related to physics. Okay, suggest some 10 topics. Okay, so I have added the physics to here. Earlier it was not there. So I am looking for some research topics related to physics. So I just added physics here. Okay, I'll just delete this. What I did was I just copied this, selected, then Control C in my keyboard. Otherwise right click, then copy this, then go down. You can paste it here, right click, paste it here. Otherwise Control V in your keyboard. Okay, so I need to work on the topics new. I am planning to conduct a doctoral research work on any new topics related to physics. Okay, and just click on. So they will list. So you can see now since we have given the in prompt only physics topics we need. So they have given quantum computing and information, topological phases of matter, quantum gravity and cosmology, quantum simulation, and so there are many topics. Okay. Again, I'll copy this. Control C. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll work on any topics related to the discipline of education at bus to the discipline of education. So I just click. Okay. देखिए personalized learning environment, global citizenship education, technology integration in education, teacher professional development, assessment for learning, inclusive education practices, education. So they will give you some ideas, okay? Then if you are not happy, you keep on exploring this. Now, say for example, we have identified inclusive education practices as one of our variables in our study, okay? Inclusive education practices. हमने identify कर दिया, we are going to finalize, this is our area, this is the variable which I want to work for my research work. So what I'll do, I'll again keep on. So I'll just copy and put it here, okay? My area of research is inclusive education practices, okay? I'll put it maybe in single inverted comma using my keyboard. Stop here. My area of research is inclusive education. List few other variables. List not few other variables. List two more variables. Which I can which is related to inclusive education and I can do the research. Okay. So I'm looking inclusive education is the major area. I'm looking for some two more variables which is related to education and I can do the research. Okay. My area of research is inclusive education practices. List two more variables which is related to inclusive education and I can do the research. Okay. Let us see the response. I'm putting it here. Okay. So we have to come down. So they have, here are two additional variables related to inclusive education that you could consider for your research. Okay. So they have given. Like, say for example, I am taking. So inclusive education, my area of, so I'll just copy and paste it here again. My area of research is inclusive practices. Now I'll copy this also, parent and family involvement, copy. My area of research is inclusive education, parent and family involvement. Okay. Now list 25 latest studies with the names of the researchers and their synopsis and their brief synopsis of the study. My area of research is inclusive education, parent and family involvement. Okay. List 25 latest studies with the names of the researchers. And their brief synopsis of the study. Okay. So I'm just giving the enter button here. This is the send message option. Okay, we were asking for some 25, but they have given only 10. Okay, that too not the way we were looking for. Okay, इसका पहले आपको ये भी मिलेगा. As of my last update in January 2022, I don't have access to real-time databases or specific studies published after that. So the large language model which we were talking in the beginning, they analyze all the text which are available on the internet. But this chat GPT, what they will do, analyze the data which is before January 2022. Okay. So they don't have access to this technology, don't have access to the data which is available on the internet as of now. Maybe at a later point, they may be, revising that. But as of now, they are limited only to 2022 data. Okay. तो पुराना का भी जितना भी अवेलेबल होगा वो सारा है, but the latest is till January 2022 only. So the study is in 2023, 2024, somewhere after January 2022 will not be, they will not be considering. Even otherwise, we were asking for, parent, family and involvement, list 25 latest studies. We were looking for latest studies and their summary, but they have not given exactly. Impact of parental involvement on academic achievement. Researchers may investigate the relationship between various forms of parallel involvement, communication with the teachers. No. So we are not happy with this. Okay. So if you are not happy, then this is what I was against. I would say the prompt engineering. We have to be very clear, simple here. Okay. So maybe if you are not getting response, we can say something like, let us see this again practice. Copy. My area of research is, okay. I'll copy and paste here. I'll take from again here. List 25 studies. Copy. I have removed the rest. Okay, my area of research is inclusive education practices. List 25 latest studies with the names of the researchers and their brief synopsis of the study. Okay, so I am going to enter this. Okay. Let us see how many. Okay, we were asking again for 25. They have not given. But something, again, that idea is there. As of my last update in January 20, I can't provide the real-time list of the latest studies. However, I can suggest some recent trends and topics in inclusive education research that you might explore. Effective inclusive pedagogy. Researchers like Mara, Sapon, Sherwin, and Thomas have been investigating inclusive teaching strategies that cater to diverse learning needs within the mainstream classrooms. So you can see some names they have listed. Susan and Charter, Elizabeth, Davis, Rose, and okay. So let us say I'm not happy. I need studies conducted in India. Okay. We were looking for again 25. Let us see how many they will. देखिए मैं इसका पहले का response भी एक बार दिखाता हूँ आपको what they have given at the last. See, these are just a few examples of recent research and trends and scholars in the field of inclusive education practice. To find the latest studies and researchers, I recommend using academic databases like Google Scholar, ERIC, JSTOR. This is also a good repository. JSTOR, to search for peer-reviewed articles, conference papers, books on inclusive education published within the last few years. So this also they have given. Now you can see in India, if when I was asking researcher Neeraja Khwana's study explores the effectiveness of inclusive education practices in primary schools in India, focusing on the experience of students with disabilities, teachers, and parents. The research investigates the implementation of inclusive policies, classroom accommodation, and support services for students with learning diverse needs. Okay, so you can see the researcher name, their synopsis. But again, I would say you should always keep this in mind. Okay, ChatGPT can make mistake. Consider checking the important information. Don't always believe this. Okay. Now what I'll do, my area of research is this. I'll just copy this. I'll go to Gemini. So this is the Gemini interface. We will paste it here. My area of research is inclusive education. I'll just practice a little latest studies conducted in India. I'll add India also here with the names of the researchers and their brief synopsis of the study. My area of research is inclusive education practices. List 25 studies. Okay. I'll give this prompt. Submit. Okay. See, here it is something different. Title 1, Understanding the Implementation of Inclusive Education in India, a case study of elementary schools in Kerala, Priya John Rajani Menon, synopsis, very, brief synopsis, examines the implementation of inclusive education in Kerala, focusing on challenges and facilitators to successful inclusion. Inclusive education of children with disabilities in India, a critical review of current policies and practices. So you can see third, fourth, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they kept on giving 17. Okay, leveraging. Done. Okay, so in a way, this help you to what we say, to find out the review, to find out the what we say problem for your study also. So I'm just again copying this. Okay, I'll come back to this slide where now the key writing title, writing title, identification of the problem, writing title. So we are going to write the title now. Okay, we have seen some area inclusive education. So this is chat GPT again. I'll paste my area of research is inclusive education practices at the secondary level in India. Okay, so I'll just remove this, delete. Okay, see, my area of research is inclusive education practices at secondary level India. This is not complete that way. We are just experiment. Okay, suggest 5 titles for this study. We can include parental beliefs also. Inclusive practices and parental beliefs. See, my area of research is inclusive education. I'll put it in comma, parental beliefs at the secondary level in India. Suggest 5 titles for this study. For this doctoral research, yeah, PhD level, doctoral research study. My area of research is inclusive education practices and parental beliefs at the secondary level in India. Suggest 5 titles for this doctoral research study. Okay. The key. So they have given 5 titles: examining inclusive education practices and parental beliefs in secondary schools, a case study in urban India. Okay. Understanding role of parental beliefs in shaping inclusive education practices at the secondary perspective from Indian schools. Okay. So what you'll do, I am conducting an experimental study. Please revise the title accordingly. Now, I am conducting an experimental study. Please revise the title accordingly. Okay. So since you are not happy with, otherwise, if you are doing an experimental study, you need the experimental study title. So I have just given this prompt. I am conducting an experimental study. Please revise the title accordingly. So what they will do now, they will just take the clues from the previous prompt. Or jitna bhi prompt hai, if it is related to that, we don't have to keep on typing the entire details. This is what we call the interaction. This is what the interaction that we do with a researcher and a supervisor. So the same way we will give prompt. Okay. Testing the effectiveness of inclusive education strategies on parental beliefs, and experimental study in Indian secondary. So I'm giving you some time. We are taking a break, maybe 10 minutes, then we will be joining back. So for the maybe you can also take the break. Okay, of course. Then, but those who are not going anywhere, they can just experiment this. The Chat GPT and Gemini, yeah, jitna bhi Google Scholar Academy, this you can just have a look. Okay, we'll take a 10 minutes break. Thank you. Where is this?
Yes, yes, sir.
It's clear now. The
Yes,
volume
clear.
is
It's better. Okay.
okay. So friends, let us resume. Somebody was saying the Bing also. Bing also you can try, okay? I mean, like Microsoft Office. Yeah. Just to go to the Microsoft Office and you try, okay? Right now I cannot locate that. So I'm just minimizing that, okay? So this, see, these are the titles: testing the effectiveness of inclusive education strategies on parental beliefs and experimental study in Indian secondary education context. So what I'll do, I just copy this. I'll copy. Now, you are seeing my slide now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have the PowerPoint here. The steps, okay. So we have, I mean, like scene, writing title, stating objectives, research questions, okay. We will minimize this. So we will see how the objectives. So say for example, this is the study, okay, testing effectiveness and inclusive. This is the study we are going to undertake. I am conducting a research titled, I'm conducting a research title, testing the effectiveness of inclusive education in the Indian context. I'll put it in comma, single inverted here also. It's not necessary, but it is good always to have some clarity. I'm conducting a research title, okay. Please suggest, प्लीज लिखने का भी जरूरी नहीं है, प्लीज सजेस्ट 5 research questions and research objectives for the study. So this is the maybe title, and we are asking that to suggest 5 research questions and research objectives for this particular study. So I'll put it, I'll give the message. Okay. Now, see, this is only what we say, some kind of sample, okay. Research question sometimes. See, certainly here are 5 research questions and corresponding. Somebody is there to mute the microphone. Corresponding research objectives for your study, titled this one. Okay, research question. How do different inclusive education strategies implemented in Indian secondary schools influence parental beliefs about inclusive education? What are the variations in parental beliefs about inclusive education before and after exposure to specific inclusive education interventions in Indian secondary schools? Okay, so 5 they have listed. Research objective to assess the impact of diverse inclusive strategies. So this is very clear, like research questions come in the form of question mark, na? At after every question you can see the question mark, but in objective it is not the case, na? To measure the challenges in parental beliefs about inclusive education following their exposure to specific inclusive education interventions implemented in Indian secondary schools. Okay, so you just keep on expanding. Now, if this was an survey study, what are the changes suggest the changes to be brought in research questions and research objectives? If this was an survey study, suggest the changes. Okay, so you can see the research questions. To describe the current landscape of parental beliefs, to examine the relationship between demographic variables and parental beliefs about inclusive education using statistical. Again, we would say, I mean, like there is a systematic, standard way of writing the objectives. Okay, we don't use this kind of writing using statistical analysis, testing in techniques and all. So that you can just think of to identify the perceived barriers and facilitators to parental support. Okay, so this seems to be very broad that way. Okay, if our what we say the title is very proper, then we could have got very very systematic, very refined form of research objectives. Now this we have to do, this can be done only using your prompt. Okay, if you are not happy, don't take anything, just take the ideas, otherwise you keep on giving responses. Okay, now let us, if this is working, Shodh Ganga, this you are aware of. Shodh Ganga is one of the repository that we most of us make use of. This usually takes some time. Okay, so we'll take a sample. Say for example, University of Madras. Let it come. Otherwise we will do here only. Okay, we'll take some formulate two survey type research having variables inclusive education practices. Yeah, otherwise we can take this experimental study only then, but just a second, there was one experimental study here. Okay, this we will take again, testing the effectiveness of Indian. I'll copy this, I'll just delete this, I'll paste this, just a second. Okay, so this is the study. Okay, I am conducting a research titled, we'll put it in comma, please formulate 5 research hypotheses for this study. Even the simple language mistakes doesn't make much difference. Okay, that the tool will understand. Okay, here we have to make some changes, but for the time being I'm keeping like that. So I'm conducting a research titled this, please formulate 5 research hypotheses for this study. I'm just giving this. See, based on your research title, strategies on an experiment study in Indian context, here are 5 research hypotheses. Implementation of specific inclusive strategy will lead to significant. Okay, usually we don't follow this kind of writing the hypothesis. Okay, so if you are not happy, you again keep on giving the prompt. I need hypothesis written starting like. Okay, सर मैं कोई लेक्चर में है 4:30 तक, मैं आ जाऊँ? नहीं मैं लेक्चर में हूँ सर, अभी कुछ लेक्चर चल रहा है मेरा, मैं 4:30 तक आ जाऊंगा. ओके, so देखिए, this is how we usually write hypothesis. There is no significant difference. Like then you give the example here. Okay, please revise the hypothesis accordingly. So you have to then give the what we say example also. So you can see now it is more refined hypothesis. There is no significant difference in parental beliefs about inclusive education between experimental group exposed to specific inclusive education strategies and the control group not exposed to these strategies in the Indian secondary education context. There is no significant difference in parental beliefs about inclusive education. So it keeps on giving the responses. Since we have asked 5 responses, they have given 5 responses. Okay, so this is how we end up in I mean, like doing this formulation of hypothesis. So this we have done. Okay. Now, data collection, sampling, tools, methodology. Okay. We'll just see how it can be done. I want to research on inclusive practices in India. I want to research on inclusive practices in India. What kind of study research I can undertake? Please mention whether it is survey, correlational, experimental, etc. If it is survey study, suggest the research tools which I can use in the study. Okay. I mean, like very broad kind of a prompting, like I want to research on inclusive practices in India. What kind of a study I can undertake? Please mention whether it is survey, correlational, experimental, etc. If it is survey study, suggest the research tools which I can use in the study. Okay, I'll just give the prompt. Chat में है. Yeah, I'll come to that. Okay. There is some message in the chat box. I'll come to that also. So देखिए, this was our prompt. I want to research on this and so and so. Suggest whether it is survey, correlational, experiment. If it is a survey study, suggest the research tools which I can use. You can undertake a survey study to research inclusive practices in India. Here is a proposal for your study. Title: Exploring Inclusive Practices in Indian Educational Settings, a survey study. Study type: research methodology, research design is survey type. Research objective is this. Research questions you can see down. These are the research questions. Now the research design. This study will employ a cross-sectional survey design. A structured questionnaire will be administered to teachers, school administrators, and parents across different educational settings. So you will get idea about the population and all. Samples also. Research tools. Inclusive practices questionnaire. This tool will assess the extent to which schools implement inclusive practices, including classroom accommodation, teachers collaboration, support services. Teacher perception survey, barrier assessment tool, school administrator questionnaire, stakeholder attitudes survey. Okay. Sampling method. A stratified sampling technique will be used to select a representative sample of schools from different regions and educational levels across India. Within each selected school, participants will be recruited through convenience sampling. This we have to see properly. See, here it is written convenience sampling. It is a random stratified random sampling. Okay. Data analysis procedure, descriptive statistics will be used to analyze quantitative survey data. Inferential statistics will be used to examine a relationship between variables. Okay. So they have given the entire data. Now, if you are not, let me see chat again. So if I mean, like we will get various information depending upon the prompt that we have given. Okay. If you are not happy, then keep on revising your questions and prompt. Okay. Now, if it is an experimental study, revise the entire response. If it is an experiment, revise the entire response. Let us see how it comes. Okay. Study type experimental research question is this. Now it keeps on giving. The study will be employ a randomized controlled trial design with the participants schools randomly assigned to experimental and control group. Experimental group will implement specific inclusive practices while control group will maintain their usual practices. Intervention. Sample, a purposive sample will be selected. Data collection. Quantitative data will be collected through pre-test, post-test intervention assessment, including standardized test of academic achievement. Usually we do statistical technique like ANOVA, regression, etc. will be used. Okay. Now, if we are giving this same question, let us see. I want to research. Copy. I'll go to Gemini. I'll put it here. This is in Gemini, okay, Google Bard. Let us see how they are giving response. See, this is the question, research ideas on inclusive practices in India. Since you are interested in inclusive practices in India, here are some potential research ideas covering various methodologies. Survey, topic, methodology, tools, online survey tools like SurveyMonkey, topic, methodology. Okay, this is another. Correlational study, investigate the relation between teacher training in inclusive practices and student academic achievement in inclusive methodology. This is tools. Now qualitative study to explore the lived experience of students with disabilities in inclusive methodology is this. Interview tools is interview, topic, experimental is this. Okay, so in Gemini it is a different type. Okay, so that's how we will get ideas on, like maybe you can ask questions on what kind of a sample, what kind of a population, what kind of tools which we can use, the methodology, the research design, if it is experimental study, how we will go about. Okay. Now, data analysis. Now, data analysis, there are different tools. This is very popular, the SPSS one. Some people use Excel. There are this is the quantitative data analysis. Qualitative, we use NVO, Atlas, TI. There are a couple of other tools also. Okay. Now, in data analysis, one I would show. Let me also see how it is done. Say, for example, data analysis. We'll come to the ChatGPT again. Discard. Okay. Where is this? Here. Okay. See, in my research study, I am giving some research study. The calculated t-value between calculate t-value for, say for example, study habit between male and female samples is 12.32 at 0.05 level of significance and degrees of freedom. To 45. Okay, say for example, in my research study, the calculated t-value for study habits between male and female samples is 12.32, comma, at 0.05 level of significance and degrees of freedom. Please write the result in APA format. Result and interpretation. In APA format. So we have that kind of a standard writing format for when we do statistics, the entire statistics. If it is t-test, it is something different from ANOVA, different from regression and all that you are aware. Okay. So we don't know actually how to write the interpretation in APA format. So I just gave a kind of an situation where the t value is this. This is at 0.05 level of significance and degrees of freedom 245. So we are asking the AI tool to write the result for us. Okay, I'm just clicking the enter button. Okay. So we will come down. The results and interpretation in API format would be structured as follows. They have given 2 responses, maybe because I might have done mistake. Okay, result. A significant difference was found in study habits between male and female samples. T, this is how we write the t value. T 245 equal to 12.32, P less than 0.05. Interpretation. The calculated t value at 0.05 level with 245 degrees of freedom indicates a significant difference in study habit between male and female samples. This suggests that there is a notable variation in the study habits between genders within the sample population. I hope you are getting the idea. Okay. So this is how we write. There can have minor changes, but in general, this is how the interpretation and the result is written. Okay. Response, second response, by mistake they have given, not given, I have press the enter button twice, so they have given one more response. Okay, which is not required that way. Now I am doing correlation between study habit and academic achievement. Take a sample data on your own and write the result and interpretation answer. Okay, so I'm just for demo purposes, see, I am doing correlation study between study habit and academic achievement. Take a sample data. So I am asking the AI tool to develop data and write the result for us, interpretation in API format. So let us see. I am clicking on the enter button. So you can see, let us suppose we have collected data from sample of 100 students and conducted a correlation study between study habit scores and academic achievement score. Here are some hypothetical data corresponding result and interpretation. Data, study habit score for 100 people, academic achievement for 100 people. Result, a Pearson correlation coefficient was computed to assess the relation between study habit and academic achievement score. The correlation coefficient was R is equal to 0.82, P less than 0.01. Interpretation, there was a strong correlation between study habit score and academic achievement. R is equal to 98.82, P less than 0.001. This indicates that the students with the higher study habit scores tend to have higher academic achievement. The relationship was statistically significant, suggesting that study habits play a crucial role in predicting academic success among students. So this is how you make use of the AI tool. Maybe in this case, AI was focused. So you can keep on experimenting these kind of things. So I have an urgent meeting. The Pro Vice Chancellor is calling me. I can take 1 or 2 questions. Then maybe we will just wind up this session. Thank you for report writing, everything, everywhere you can, if you are stuck up, you can take the support of this. So I'm just closing this and I'll be coming back.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Participants, if any queries are there, please use the time. Sir has to leave urgently.
Sir, thank you, sir. Very great work, sir, today. Today, everyone enjoyed the complete session. It's a really eye-opening session, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. I'll share my PowerPoint presentation. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
I'll share with all the participants.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you very
ladies
much
and
then. If any queries are there, you please communicate it with me so that we will do a solution.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
My email,
Yeah.
mobile number will also be there.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
thank
Bye.
you. Thank you, sir. Bye. We'll just end this meeting. It was unexpected that he will be called by Pro Vice Chancellor. So anyhow, the session was useful, I think, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Today's session really
Yes, I
wonderful.